TJ, thank you, and welcome to ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by Ram Trucks. It's the ACC on ESPN. First time North Carolina and Cal are meeting as conference foes. And they talked about Jaron Keawe Sangapolatella. You'll learn how to say the name. One of the best freshman quarterbacks in the country. That's why the Golden Bears are California dreaming. Well, it's been a bit of a nightmare for North Carolina, but tonight they hope to wake up and get that first conference win under Bill Belichick. And with that, we say good evening. Thanks for staying up late. Anae Schropp, the Heisman winner, Andre Ware. We'll get to Paul Carcaterra in a minute. A lot of noise surrounding the North Carolina program right now. The easy way to turn down the volume, improve play tonight.
Yeah, or win a football game. Not just improve, but win a football game on the road in the ACC. And the schedule after next week's game against Virginia, very manageable for North Carolina.
Meanwhile, for Cal, you lose Fernando Mendoza to Indiana. He might be the #1 pick in the draft, but they have a guy in Jaron Keawe Sangapolatella who might be the #1 pick in a couple of years.
Yeah, he will. He's going to be a first-round pick. That's just out there. The talent, when you turn on the video, unbelievable. Great arm talent, going to be a superstar in this league. And the way he layers throws with touch, throws with accuracy, can drive the football. It's second to none for his age. Wise beyond his years, Anish.
And with more on JKS, here's Paul Carcaterra.
Jaron Sangapolatella has the arm strength, the brains, and the size that screams program changer. I mean, you look at his success in college football, it all circles back to his homeland in Hawaii. And I had a chance to speak with Jaron this week, and he told me from his uncle Fono training him to idolizing guys like Marcus Mariota and Tua Tagovailoa, they were always front-facing for him. And the relationship that he developed with Dylan Gabriel, someone who he's even trained with. Jaron also credits the type of system the majority of Hawaii high schools with strong arm quarterbacks run. It's the run and shoot. Andre, you know a lot about it. High volume passing and the ability to check at the line with 4 vert sets.
No doubt. Love it.
That's speaking Andre Ware's language. We're back with the opening kick from Memorial Stadium in Berkeley. Bill Belichick on Monday shot down the reports that he's looking for a buyout and trying to leave North Carolina. He told us last night he feels progress is being made everywhere. Both of these teams coming off a bye. We haven't seen the results from North Carolina. We're going to find out if this is an improved team. They've had a bye now in 2 of the last 3 weeks.
It's been an influx of young players getting a lot more playing time for North Carolina.
Cal won the toss, elected to defer, and Jalen McGill brings it out to the 18-yard line. First, a look at this UNC offense. Gio Lopez, who missed the Clemson game 2 weeks ago with a leg injury, is back and healthy. He will start. He's had his struggles this season. North Carolina has struggled against Power 4 competition. There's still a chance we could see his backup, Max Johnson.
Yeah, he's a young player who is still developing, still trying to get through his progressions in a hurry and process it a lot faster than he has been in the past. I think the bye week has helped him in that area.
A transfer from South Alabama. And Lopez, a lefty, finds Shenard Clower. They want to get him the ball more today. He's out to about the 23-yard line. Ball pops out. Cal says they have it. Cam Sidney covered it up. And that is a disastrous start for Cal if that's a turnover.
Not sure if
for UNC.
The runner was down before the ball came loose. It's second down.
I think they're going to have to take a look at this one, Anish. This looks like a fumble and a strip before the ball is out and moving before he touches down. I think this is going to be Cal's football somewhere around the 24-yard line.
Let's listen into the ACC's Game Day Operations Center.
We have a ball out, and I'm trying to give you the best shot right now to show that that ball was out. So you're going to use the far handheld to be able to show that.
So go
That's
to the
what I
far
was
end.
on.
Yep, keep going, keep playing it. Keep playing. Your body parts are all up, and you're going to see the ball is out with the body parts all up.
I got you. The ball is out
So the
behind
ball-
the runner there.
And now, if we continue to play,
Yep.
keep running it through, you're going to see a defensive recovery. So we're going to
Inbounds.
overturn, yes, inbounds, that's right. So we're going to overturn the ruling on the field, and we are going to have California ball, and they are going to be at the
Plus
first and
24.
10. This can be at the plus 25.
Plus 25. Plus 25. First
And
10.
it's going to be hash 5.
Hash 5. Hash 5.
And we're not resetting the clock.
And the clock is good. Yep.
Correct.
I've got that. We good, John? Yes, sir. Thank you. All right. You bet.
Thanks, everyone.
After review, the runner lost control of the ball before he was down. Therefore, it is a first down, California.
A disaster out of the gates for UNC. You think about how the Clemson game started a couple of weeks ago. Clemson's first play from scrimmage,
Double pass.
75-yard touchdown. Now North Carolina fumbles it away on its first play from scrimmage tonight in Berkeley.
Yeah, and it's their nickelback, Cam Sidney, who forced the fumble and recovered it. And he's a guy with a lot of range and a lot of playmaking ability on the back end for Cal. This is outstanding for Cal and a nightmare start for North Carolina.
First down, they give us to Kendrick Raphael, who sledgehammers inside the 15. It's a first down for Cal. Already a couple of 100-yard games for Raphael this year.
Right up the gut. Excellent block by the left guard, Spazovic, who throws the basically the block that gets him to the first down mark.
Out of a pistol set, right back to Raphael, the NC State transfer who's facing UNC for the third time. Twice with the Wolfpack, now with Cal.
This is exactly a page out of Clemson's playbook. They went right between the tackles early in the game, ran a couple of explosives and were able to hit on those. Before you knew it, Carolina was down 28-3 before you could bat an eye. This is not the way Coach Belichick envisioned this game starting.
Two tight ends in the game, and Cal loves its tight ends down in this area. They'll just run it with Raphael. Why not? It's first and goal, Cal. C.J. Mims making the stop. And now you got 4 chances from in close to punch it in.
My high school coach, Doug Ferris, would say, why change? If they can't stop wing right 21 pitch, run it again. And that's exactly what Cal's doing. I would not alter, I would not change a thing. You stay between the tackles and you give the big grunts up front a reason to incorporate themselves into this game.
3 tight ends into the game on first and goal. Sangapolatele keeps and cruises in. Cal capitalizes off the UNC turnover.
I didn't know he had that in his game. Usually it's from the pocket. He can certainly throw on a run. But I had yet to see him pull it down on an RPO. And this is basically just a design quarterback run with a couple of lead blockers in front of him. Sangapolatele off to a great start here to get the Cal Bears, get them going here tonight.
Chase Meyer is on for the PAT. And like that, it's 7-0 Cal. The nightmare of real things continues for North Carolina. Clower fumbles. Cal takes over deep in Tar Heel territory. JKS punches it in. It's been a rough go in year 1 at North Carolina for arguably the greatest head coach of all time. And against Power 4 competition, the slow starts have been demoralizing. Just look at the last 2 games. UCF and Clemson, you add in today, they've been outscored 62-6 in the first half of those games.
It's tough. It's tough to come back from that. You're asking a lot of young players. You're trying to add an influx of young players to help this thing along. But then Glauer, who they want to get the ball to, he puts it on the ground early in the game.
Cargill from the 2. And gives Carolina a bit of a spark with a strong return out to the 33-yard line. Take 2 for Gio Lopez and this offense.
Excellent return there by Jalen McGill to set up Gio Lopez with some pretty good field position in which to start this drive. Now it's take care of the football in order to get Gio Lopez into this game. Give him some easy throws, something that is easy on the outside, away from the middle of the field where it may get tipped. Build some confidence within this offense to get these guys going.
Damon June, the true freshman, goes in motion. Lopez, a quick check down, and Connor Cox gets deleted by Cade Uluave, one half of the Bash Brothers tandem.
Yeah, the captain, he showed up, and he shows up in a bad way, a nasty way. That is about as good a form tackle as I've seen all season long. He can run, and when he gets there, he is a big-time playmaker that loves to strike.
He and number 41, Luke Forelli, a heartbeat of that defense in the middle. Uluave, third leading tackler in the ACC. Against a 4-man rush, quick throw. Tackle made immediately by Drew Polidor. The catch by Jordan Shipp. He's the Tar Heels' top receiver. Yeah,
he is a guy that, especially on third downs, they really like to get the ball in his hands. But that completion, what it does, Anish, is it puts you back on schedule. Gets you right back to third medium. That's where North Carolina has to live. They cannot find themselves behind the chains as well. No negative plays, which we've already witnessed that here early.
Offense has been a struggle for Carolina this season. Four-man rush. That one is caught by Nathan Leacock. He's going to be a yard shy. And an early decision for North Carolina. It looks like they will punt on 4th and 1 inside their own 45.
Aiden Manitai on the back, a true freshman himself, with a nice tackle, stopping the receiver short of the first down marker, Nathan Leacock.
McGinnis to punt, and one of the top return men in college football, Jacob DeJesus, waits at his own 10-yard line.
Dangerous.
Line drive kick, DeJesus fields at the 9, lost it, recovers, and then shipwrecked right at the 9-yard line. Time for a quick word from Verbo.
As your host, I have some rules. First, no showers longer than 5 minutes. This isn't a spa. That's the rule.
Meanwhile, at a Verbo, get the vacation you expect and never a hovering host.
Second drive for Cal and quarterback Jaron Keave Sangapolatele, 19-year-old, a true freshman from Eva Beach, Hawaii. Puts it in the belly of his running back Raphael, who's tackled by Melkart Abujaude.
You know what Sangapolatele means to a program like Cal? Makes it easy to recruit. Guys are going to want to come play with a quarterback of his caliber, especially receivers, skill position players, running backs, tight ends. He makes the game easy for him because he knows how to place the football, when to put something on it, when to take a little bit off.
Here's the blitz. Picks it up. It is dropped by Raphael, his running back. 3rd down and 8.
Just a little bit too low for Raphael to handle. And good receiver out of the backfield in his own right, but first test here with a true freshman backed up on his end of the field. What do you do here on 3rd and 8? Do you protect him or do you cut him loose here?
A 4-man rush. Quick out, almost picked. Wanted DeJesus. And UNC right there. Marcus Allen closing quick. It's a Tar Heels team missing its top corner and best defensive player, Thaddeus Dixon.
Yeah, DeJesus has got to check his shoes. Slipped on the punt return. It also slipped on his route there. It almost resulted and an interception here early for North Carolina, but nice job by the defense of the Tar Heels coming up, playing some sound defense, and going to give them some field position to start their next drive.
Will Hardy, the return man, waits at his own 40. Hearn boots it away. Hardy from the 45. Into plus territory. And UNC set up to begin its third drive. A 13-yard return by Will Hardy. Carolina begins in California territory.
ESPN College Football Primetime is presented by Ram, official sponsor of the College Football Playoff.
When we get to see Jared Goff on Monday night with the Lions and Bucks, Drake May in his second season ripping England. He has taken the leap, and he looks like he's got a chance to be an elite quarterback in the NFL.
I tell you who else looks like they can be an elite quarterback in the NFL. Mac Jones. And Mac is tearing it up in San Francisco, and I think he got jobbed in New England when he had a defensive coordinator calling plays for him. That's just my opinion.
Mac Jones starting again this week for San Francisco. Brock Purdy still out. Good starting field position for North Carolina to begin its third drive, and it's impeded by a false start. Unless they were drawn offsides. John Noli is our head referee.
Ball start. Offense number 58. 5-yard penalty. First down.
In a lot of ways, a microcosm of the season to date for North Carolina.
As most coaches would say, you got to hold your water. Especially with the field position you have. A couple of first downs, you can get yourself on the scoreboard, but you can't do it by going back. And we just talked about the last possession. They cannot play the game behind the chains.
Both teams, again, coming off a bye week. Damon June, the true freshman, ran into his own man. And then a nice tackle in space from the freshman safety, Aiden Manutai. Both these teams started with running back by committee. Raphael's been the lead guy for Cal, and June, a true freshman from Jacksonville, North Carolina, near Wilmington. He's become the top back for Bill Belichick.
Runs hard. Sometimes for a young player, you know, it doesn't make sense, but in this sense, when when Freddie Kitchens told us, sometimes he runs too hard because he hits the hole a little bit faster than it's there and developed.
Right back to June, hit the hole fast there, and he gets close to the original line of scrimmage, 3rd and about 11.
He gets to and through the line of scrimmage, and they want him to punish defenders. Sometimes he'll try to shake them. You know, you got to be one or the other, or, you know, they want to see the physical part of June rather than him trying to make everybody miss.
Is this a spot, Andre, you pick up 5-6, you go for it on 4th down?
You get to 4th and medium, I think so.
Davion Gauze is the new running back. Play clock down to 3, down to 2. Cal rushes 4. Lopez to the sideline, broken up. That's Zeke Masses, one of the top corners in America. He leads the ACC with 4 picks. Actually making Paco Austin.
Yeah, another outstanding corner. And all they do here at Cal is produce defensive backs. Year after year, scouts are coming here. If you need defensive backs, this is the place to come. Justin Wilcox, Terrence Brown, those guys can coach them up. They know how to read, react. There's a standard of playing in the secondary here at Cal.
3 DBs drafted off of last year's team. And DeJesus makes the fair catch at the 13-yard line. Missed opportunity with the short field for North Carolina. Pretty good list right here. High school award winners of the Polynesian Player of the Year. Puka Nacua, already one of the top receivers in the NFL. Teteroa McMillan having a standout rookie campaign for the Carolina Panthers. Dylan Raiola really had a strong freshman year last year for Nebraska. And then Jaron Keave, Sanga Politele. Andre, when you turned on the tape, what was it that made you go, wow, with 3 in yellow?
Just his poise. I mean, he does not look like a true freshman just entering college and taking snaps. He looks like a guy that has been there for a while and going to be a special player.
He finds DeJesus and a tremendous tackle in space by Andrew Simpson.
JKS, 10,653 passing yards. Campbell High School, it's a Hawaii all-time record. And I mentioned in the open, his Uncle Fono was his quarterback coach growing up. Never changed his throwing motion, Andre. His uncle's main focus for Jaron was working on his footwork, his timing, his hips. I'd love to see you break this down.
Slingshot in traffic, and the ball comes out, ruled incomplete. Wanted Jordan King. North Carolina talk to us about those 50-50 balls. That's a win for this UNC defense.
Yeah, it really is. What Cart's talking about, the throwing motion is going to be what it is, because when you're under pressure, you're going to revert back to how you've thrown it all your life. But the footwork is where you can really improve as a passer, and that just kind of grabs your attention when you look at this young man throw the football.
Steve Belichick, the defensive coordinator of North Carolina,
always seems to have his receiver in the framework of his body, and therefore you can be accurate when you're throwing it.
False start, offense, number 54. Half the distance to the goal, still 3rd down.
That's Frederick Williams. The left tackle position has been a revolving door for Cal. They've had 3 different starting left tackles this season, and Justin Wilcox told us if they could settle the offensive line,
they could be special.
It would unlock a lot of this offense. It's been a little inconsistent, to be kind.
I think he can be a pretty good player at left tackle.
Sanga Politele from his own end zone delivers a strike. They call Jordan King the mailman. He delivered a plate on some big 3rd downs, the former walk-on.
Watch the confidence and the poise as he scans the field from left to right and makes the decision to pull the trigger. That is going through your progressions and waiting. That ball's out in front of the receiver, Jordan King.
Simpson coming on the blitz. Sanga Politele moves the pocket, finds L.J. Johnson, who was part of the running back rotation for an SMU playoff team a year ago.
With just that, if we can turn the film on, that is exciting for any quarterback, scout, coach. When you see that, a young player like Sanga Politele go through your progressions and then complete it, that's next level stuff.
Handoff to Raphael. Pretzels to the 36-yard line. It sets up 3rd down and 2. Kamari House, native of Pasadena, California, with the tackle.
Yeah, Vadakani, Ruffins, Spazovic, Moko, all those guys in the interior portion of Cal's offensive line. Right now they're winning. They own the line of scrimmage.
Offensive line holding, plenty of time. Sidearm slingshot with a little too much mustard for Tron Grizel. It's 4th down.
This is pretty good protection for a while for Sanga Politele. And then all of a sudden it starts to break down right in the interior and no one's open until the final. Right when he's ready to pull the trigger, Tron Grizel comes open. Will Hardy with the pressure.
Michael Kern to punt, low snap. Hardy signals for a fair catch and makes it at the 30-yard line. It's an SEC Saturday on ABC. Ole Miss and Georgia. How about Trinidad Chambliss, D2 transfer from Ferris State, 4-0 at QB for Ole Miss since taking over for the injured Austin Simmons. And then you got Tennessee and Alabama tied. Have won 10 straight at home against Tennessee. Tennessee's last win in Tuscaloosa Go back to 2003. That was that 5 overtime epic.
Wow.
Tennessee had a 4th and 19 conversion in double overtime.
Could be a changing of the guard, a little shuffling in the top 5 after the earlier game's result.
This is Benjamin Hall. So we saw Damon June earlier. Now we get to see Benny.
This is another youngster, Anish, that kind of jumps off the film. He runs with he runs compact and powerful. Boy, just kind of spreading everything out here.
A little bit of a swinging gate formation.
Yeah.
Lopez rolling out, throws downfield, has a man open, and it is caught all the way inside the 30-yard line. That's Kobe Paysor, 5th-year senior, all 5 years with the Heels.
Had made a bunch of catches this year. He's had 2 to be exact, that being his 3rd, 1 for a touchdown, but wide open downfield. Had Cal really confused with that look.
And now using a little bit of tempo.
The previous play is under review.
And they're going to take another look at that last ruled catch by Paysor.
See if maybe the ball found its way to...
Let's listen in with the ACC Game Day Operations Center.
He is contacted before meeting the element of time, in my opinion.
Okay.
And as he goes to the ground, yeah, John, we have slight movement I noticed on one of my shots.
Okay.
And I'm trying to see if I've got anything that shows the ball clearly.
Bill, we had a
loose.
completed catch.
It's not going to help me. Yeah, John, as he goes to the ground, we see the ball move somewhat, and I'm trying to find the best shot to show you here. That's not going to help.
Okay.
That one shot, Mark, is all I saw that shows right here. We see the ball right there.
Control.
You see the ball right here, but I can't tell. He still could have.
This is not going to be.
He could still have a hand on that ball in control right here.
Correct. Keep playing it through.
On Echo.
Okay. We're looking through all of these angles.
Got a new look on Echo.
Okay. So we're looking through. Based off of all of this, he maintains the ball. The ruling on the field will be upheld.
I agree.
Okay.
Ruling on the field will be upheld.
Yes.
John, ruling is upheld. Okay.
After review, the ruling on the field is upheld. It's first down, North Carolina.
Kudos to Jim Phillips and the ACC.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
Transparency.
Yes.
You get to see how they go through the process. And again, there was a little bit of doubt, but not enough to overturn the ruling on the field. The evidence was not conclusive or indisputable.
I think it's just outstanding how, as a fan, if I'm sitting in my living room watching a game and I get to see that, and there is a great appreciation for a peek behind the curtain, so to speak.
Paysor in motion. Lopez flings it out to Benjamin Hall, the Michigan transfer, and an easy catch was dropped at 2nd and 10.
He does a little bit of everything well, more of the complete back. Excellent in protection, and he's played a lot of football for a young player, redshirt sophomore, that has a bunch of football left ahead of him. But he runs with an element of power that you don't want to step in front of him.
Won a championship with Michigan 2 years ago. There's the blitz. Lopez downfield, almost picked by Masses. That would have been number 5. There's a flag down.
We get an interference call here.
Leacock was the target.
Holding call in the secondary.
Offense number 5, defense number 5. 10-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Had to be right at the end of this thing because Masses just pulls up. I don't know about
who held who.
Yeah, who was holding who? I think that's a no call and a play on Matt. We may have to revisit that one and ask the expert about that.
Instead, first down and 10. Hall jigsaws inside the 10 and pinballs into the end zone. A much-needed answer for North Carolina.
That's exactly why I said you don't want to get in front of a guy like Benjamin Hall because he runs with so much power. You can't arm tackle him. And then when you show up, you better go low because he's going to make you feel it. Excellent kick out block, cuts up inside, and then he is going to finish.
You saw Masses try to come up and make the shoulder tackle. That's a 185-pound corner trying to shoulder tackle a 235-pound back.
Yeah, the physics is that don't add up for Masses.
Now, we weren't math majors, but that adds up for us.
Yes, no doubt.
For 20 years, Allstate has celebrated every field goal and extra point made at participating universities by donating to the university's athletic scholarship fund, supporting all student athletes. Thank you to Allstate. If you're in Chapel Hill or if you're a Tar Heel fan, can you feel a little bit of the weight come off your shoulders with that touchdown?
Especially this early, the way the game started for North Carolina, you think, oh no, here we go again. But they were able to kind of persevere a little bit, weather the storm, and then find their way to the end zone to tie this baby up.
This is North Carolina's 4th game against a Power 4 opponent. That was their first half touchdown against the Power 4 since the opening drive against TCU.
Wow.
I think we all watched that opening drive and we were thinking, whoa,
they're going to be, this is going to be something special.
Bill Belichick doubled down with us last night with what he told the media on Monday. He said, listen, I know the results haven't been there on the field. I trust the process. It's worked everywhere I've been. He told us this team was improving and progressing. We asked him specifically where. He told us everywhere.
Yeah. 70 new players brought in by this North Carolina program. So it's going to take a minute for that to gel and the chemistry to start to mix in the right way.
Off the RPO and off the hands of DeJesus. That's been an issue for Cal this year. Drop passes. It pops up from time to time and more often than it should.
I'm one to believe it hits the hands, you catch it. DeJesus is having a struggle to the start of this one. Usually a sure-handed receiver, excellent return man, which you noted leads the team in receptions. Got to catch that one.
They had a quads look. Now Raphael comes in motion. Carolina rushes 4. There is DeJesus, who came into the game leading the team in receptions.
Just so smart. I mean, just, an easy little check down like that over the middle, but it gets you back on schedule. You're not trying to push it and get it all back. North Carolina just scored. That's where the wisdom comes in for JKS. Is not, let me manage the team right now. Let's get back in a position to pick up a first down and continue this drive.
Raphael goes in motion. Here comes the blitz. Sangapolatele finds Mark Hamper for a first down, standing in against the blitz.
And I tell you what, so many times on video, you see throws like this from JKS, taking the punishment, and a DB can't believe the ball got there. I may have just grazed it with my fingertips, but it ends up in a completion.
Raphael, not much running room, and taken down by Smith Gilbert.
Nice job to kind of plug that up by Steve Belichick, their defensive coordinator, because that's been where the success has come from for Cal here early, right between the tackles, moving bodies inside, but they're kind of plugging things up, forcing a 2nd and long.
Jaron Keave Sangapolatele, 4 for 9, 42 yards. He's run for a touchdown. DeJesus, the motion man. Time in the pocket. Off the hands of DeJesus. Grizel almost caught the carom. It's 3rd down. Andre, one of the changes that Cal made in the offseason, they brought in Brian Harsin to be their offensive coordinator. They also have Nick Rolovich on staff, former head coach at Hawaii and Washington State. What does that do for a young quarterback like JKS?
Well, it settles him in. I mean, Harsin's got 23 years of coaching experience on the offensive side of the ball. He's been a head coach at Auburn, at Boise State, at Arkansas State. He knows what it takes to move the football and coach up good young quarterbacks.
Another BB. De Jesus mashing the B button, and he is into Carolina territory. So Sangapolatelli again on a big third down comes through.
Doesn't hold it. You see again, going through the progressions, and Clark talked about the run and shoot. It kind of trains you for that, to get from 1 to 2 to 3. I don't know how many times I can tell you I heard that from John Jenkins. Get off 1, 2 to 3. And the ball's got to come out. You are in your throwing motion as you get to 2 to 3. You can see that with JKS.
Melkart Abu Jaude was down after the play. He goes off the field for North Carolina. 2.5 to go in this opening quarter.
Because the player went down injured after the ball was spotted, UNC will be charged a timeout. It's their first of the half. It'll be 30 seconds.
Now that is a new rule in place this year, and it is a point of emphasis. The player went down after the ball was spotted, and Bill Belichick doesn't like it, but by rule, Carolina loses a timeout.
And I'm glad, I guess, the offensive side of me kind of feels that way, because when you get in tempo and you're trying to go, and a guy all of a sudden just flops down, fans don't want to see it, players don't want to play against something like that, and coaches certainly don't want to coach that way. But it was instituted on the defensive side, and I'm glad that rules have been put in place so that stuff can't happen.
JKS got off to a great start this year. 6 touchdowns, 1 pick in his first 3 games. Some growing pains since. Last 3 games, 3 touchdowns, 6 picks. That time it's the ground game, and Raphael picks up 9. North Carolina opened this game with a fumble on its first play from scrimmage. Cal, a few plays later, punched it in on a run by Jaron Keave Sangapolutele. UNC getting into the end zone on a touchdown run by Benjamin Hall. Time here for JKS. Chased. And throws it away. That's one of the things they're working on with the young quarterback. Now, they may talk about grounding. Did that ball get back to the line of scrimmage? He was out of the pocket.
There is no foul for intentional grounding. The pass would have made it beyond the line of scrimmage.
There you go.
It's third down.
One of the things the coaches want JKS to do a little more is throw it away.
Yeah,
take some of the checkdowns. They know,
and I think that's exactly
he can hit the home run.
Yeah, that's exactly what he was trying to do there. He just underestimated the speed of Tyler Thompson, a defensive end that can actually run you down.
We welcome those of you who just watched the Dodgers win the National League pennant once again. LA will go back to the World Series to defend its crown. That one dropped by the tight end Mason Minnie. Andrew Simpson getting in the way.
But Mookie Betts made a play in the hole last night. Unbelievable, where he skips it to first base off one leg. Unbelievable play. Congratulations to the Dodgers as they continue on to the World Series.
I believe we have not had back-to-back World Series champions since the Yankees did it 99 and 2000 and 98. 4th down and 1. Hand off to Raphael. And he moves the chains with 1:40 to go in the first. And a flag at the very end of the play.
Yeah, a little extra. And I think this is going to go against Cal. Davion Harley with a little bit of extra.
Result of the play was a first down. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense, number 6.
So it was
half the distance to the goal.
DeAndre Roberts,
the guy he was working against, that responded And as in wrestling, they say giving him the business. They're just a little bit extra on the ground, and then he responds to Spazovic Moko. And that little bit of trickery here, a little bit of the formation here by Cal, giving it back to North Carolina.
11th play of the drive upcoming. DeJesus brought down in the flat by the nickel, Caleb Kost, who also played college baseball at UNC at one point.
Now all of a sudden, Jacob DeJesus is starting to come to life. Mentioned earlier, he leads this team, this Cal offense in receptions. They love to get him the ball early, and we saw him trying to, but he just kept putting it on the turf.
Now they've got DeJesus in the backfield. He lined up everywhere for UNLV. Brings it in with one hand,
What a
reaching
grab.
for the pylon. Touchdown, Cal.
What a grab.
Rolling on the field is a touchdown.
Was not the perfect throw, Anish, by a long shot, but then the effort to get to the pylon and have the ball inside the pylon as he's going out of bounds. That's what did it for the official there. And just the snag from behind it was unreal. Starting to get him going now.
The PAT by Meyer caps a 12-play, 75-yard drive, a flag down.
You're going to get a couple of receivers going inside and DeJesus to the outside, and it's just a nice little short roll and throw. Nice little, what we call a rub route, where you have one receiver, which was Grizel. He gets outside of him, but that catch at the end of it, the receivers work on the tough ones. You never know when you're going to have to make one in a game. But when you've worked on it, you feel pretty confident about it. What an answer. 75-yard drive.
Defense number 91. Penalties decline. Result of the play is a try is good.
DeJesus has been a busy man in this opening quarter. 8 targets, 4 catches, 40 yards. Played at UNLV last year. He's not a big guy. He's 5'7", but a Da Vinci in cleats, a renaissance man. Kick returner, punt returner, slot receiver. He can line up at running back. Does a little bit of everything. And Cal got a taste of that in the LA Bowl at the end of last season. DeJesus playing against Cal for UNLV was the offensive MVP of that game.
And all of a sudden he enters the portal, and you can't believe that he's there. And you bring him to Cal, put him right in this offense, and put the ball in his hands. He has been magical. 3rd touchdown of the season for him through the air. Trying to work things out on the sideline. Head coach and his defensive coordinator, Steve Belichick. They did a nice job of plugging the middle there for a little while, where Cal was having so much success running the football, but then with every good offense, they pick it up and start throwing it when you bring guys to the party inside.
Michael Luckhurst handling kickoffs for Cal today. Just added to the roster. He was on the Cal soccer team. Was on the football team before that. Now back with the football team. Looking to get a little more on those kickoffs as we take a look at the college football headlines presented by Edward Jones. Indiana didn't mess around. They weren't waiting for anybody to poach Kurt Cignetti. They signed him to a huge extension that runs through 2033.
All that man does is win. Google it.
And he said he wants to retire in Indiana. How about Louisville earlier tonight? Handing Miami its first loss of the season. It makes that Georgia Tech-Duke game even bigger in the ACC tomorrow. And yes, the 3rd Saturday in October, Tennessee and Alabama.
That's another guy that's not going anywhere.
Tuscaloosa.
Coach Braun will be in Louisville for a while, one of their own, and having a great deal of success here in 2025.
Play of game, defense number 95, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
That's Ford. They ran a graphic during the Louisville-Miami game. Since the start of 2023, Jeff Brom has the most conference wins.
Went from 23 to 24 tonight.
Of any coach in the ACC.
Yeah.
Benjamin Hall, who has the Carolina touchdown, Amtrak's his way close to the 40-yard line for a pickup of a baker's dozen.
Boy, look at the job that the North Carolina offense does. Look at that push. That gives him a nice little alley right there in which to run through. They do a heck of a job of reestablishing the line of scrimmage for Hall, and he is off to a magical start tonight.
3 carries, 35 yards, including a touchdown run from 18 for the lone UNC score. Cal ran 25 plays in the opening quarter, on pace to run 100 plays as we go to quarter number 2 in Berkeley.
Back in Berkeley with Cal head coach Justin Wilcox. What allowed you to find rhythm in that offensive touchdown drive, Coach?
Well, a couple conversions, third downs. We know we do a good job when we get third and short, but we got to stay out of those third and extra longs. But we converted a couple third downs, got down there, and Jaron did a nice job getting us into the end zone.
What's critical stopping their run game?
Yeah, getting early stops. First, second down, keep them out of that third and short. Same deal. We got to get them behind the chains, and we got to stay ahead of the chains.
Thank you.
Thanks.
North Carolina gets behind the chains. Drew Polidor starting for injured safety Isaiah Crosby with the TFL.
Yeah, to Coach Wilcox's point, Cal's average yards on third down to go, which has been 7 tonight. They were able to overcome two third and longs on that 75-yard scoring drive. So when you keep them in third and short or third medium to short, boy, they are a dangerous offense.
Out of a double tight end set. Hall scavenging and met by Jaden Wayne. So on the last 2 plays, it was Wayne and Polidor making the tackles. They're starting in place of 2 starters who are out for the season. Wayne for Ryan McCullough, who's Cal's best pass rusher, and then Crosby, who's a starting safety for Cal.
Tonight it's going to be TJ Bush. They're expecting a big game from him out on the edges. He and Jake Wayne. But here, third down and long, and this is where offensive coordinator Freddie Kitchens told us they cannot live in this one and survive this way.
One high safety look for Cal. Lopez's throw incomplete, flag down. Uluave in coverage on the pass for Nathan Leacock, wearing 82 today instead of 15.
Holding, offense number 73. Penalties declined, 4th down.
Will Osteen, he is making a start tonight. Edmund Aiden Banfield at left guard, but they decided to go with Will Osteen, a transfer from Jacksonville State.
Played for Rich Rodriguez. Osteen did get the start against Clemson with Banfield banged up. McGinnis to kick it away. De Jesus, an All-American return man a couple of years ago, makes the fair catch inside the 25 after a 40-yard kick. The Cal offense with the lead and back to work. A name familiar to both fan bases, Ron Rivera, Cal linebacker. He was an All-American Pac-10 co-defensive player of the year in '83. Played for the '85 Bears, spent his whole NFL career with the Bears, went on to be a head coach in Carolina with the Panthers, also the Commanders. He's now the general manager for Cal, and he's with Paul Carcaterra.
That's right, Anish, and he's back home. Northern California native and '83 grad of Cal, and now you're the GM of the Bears, and that's a new position in college football, Ron. Break that spot down.
Well, for the most part, you support the football team, support the head coach. A big part of what you've got to do really is take a lot of the mundane stuff off of the plate of the head coach so he can focus on coaching the team.
Why are you so bullish about Cal and the direction of the football team moving forward?
Well, I really think it's important because, again, we have the #1 public institution in the world, and there's no reason why we can't, as a football program, play at that type of a level. So we really feel that we can elevate the program.
The kid who's taking the snap right now, Jaron Sangapolatelli, he's a special player. And you and I were talking off camera. When you watch him play, what's top of mind?
Well, just his presence in the pocket, has a great feel for where the pressure's coming from, steps out of trouble for the most part, and delivers a very catchable ball. I mean, he's a heck of a young man, and the big thing we got to do now is we got to make sure we're able to retain him.
What are you enjoying most about being back at Cal?
I think just being back, I really do. It's a great home. It's my hometown area. I love being around young people and being an opportunity to kind of share some of my wisdom.
We were turned around watching some old school video of you. What do you remember about those days?
Just a lot of fun to play on the field. It really was. It was a great time.
Thank you, Ron.
I appreciate it. Thanks.
Awesome.
Great player.
Awesome.
Great coach 10 years ago, in fact. He was the head coach for that 15-1 Panthers team that went to the Super Bowl. Cam Newton was the MVP.
Played for the greatest defense ever in the NFL. That 85 Bears team, unbelievable.
Von Rivera, Mike Singletary, Richard Dent. Another 3rd and long. Cal's hit North Carolina with a few of these. Not this time. Big hold for this Carolina defense. It's 4th down. Cal has to punt.
Got him behind the chains, and that's where Cal, as well as North Carolina, both offenses going to struggle when that happens. Cal able to overcome it their last drive, or the previous drive, but that's trouble for 2 young quarterbacks in Gio Lopez as well as JKS.
Michael Kern to punt. Will Hardy, a 5th-generation college football player, awaits the line drive kick, and he makes the fair catch at the 31-yard line. North Carolina hanging. And let's start on the East Coast. Tar Heels with a chance to tie when we get back.
UNC center Chad Lindbergh has now played every position on the offensive line, and prior to this season, never snapped the ball. Mr. Versatility is our Friday night spotlight. He currently holds 2 degrees, a bachelor's in finance and a master's in business analytics. His goal after his playing days is to dive into the analytics perspective of football. He told me he feels there's so much potential with football in using AI as an advanced scouting tool, where tons of man hours breaking down film can be replaced by developing predictive AI with body positions, for example, which ultimately would spit out tendencies from an individual, position, and team standpoint.
That is wild.
Wow.
Play action, Gio Lopez. And able to find Pesor for a 1st down. Clark left out one tidbit.
He needs a patent on that, on the idea itself.
Paul, Chad Lindbergh's mom was a big fan of who?
Andre Ware. She went to Houston at the same time as Andre. And I asked Chad, what does she tell you about those days? His response, pretty simple. She remembers a lot of winning and electric plays by a legend of a quarterback.
Just hope she didn't tell him that when I wasn't in class.
Benjamin
That's
Hall.
what I was worried it was going to come out of his mouth.
Pulled down by Uluabe.
Awesome.
Emily Lindbergh.
2 degrees already. That's big time, and he has got things figured out. That's for sure. Hello, Miss Emily. Go Cougs.
2nd down, 9 to go. North Carolina north of 100 yards in the first half of a Power 4 conference game, or a Power 4 game, for the first time this season. This is their 4th Power 4 game, and Benjamin Hall has had his way with this Cal defense.
He is running.
That's 10 more.
Like a grown man tonight. And that's what popped, was eye-popping to me when you turn the video on to watch North Carolina's offense. He only had 20 carries coming in, and I'm thinking, why didn't this guy get the ball more? You know, and all of a sudden tonight decide to utilize him. And lo and behold, he gets in the end zone, and he is just wrecking shop right now.
6 carries, 49 yards, including a touchdown. Go right back to Hall.
Showing some patience there in these, allowing blocks to set themselves.
Pulled down by Aiden Kiana.
Just as I mentioned earlier, redshirt sophomore, versatile, compact, and powerful.
5'11", 235, and he gets a breather. Gauze comes in at running back. Play action. Lopez takes a shot and almost picked by Austin. Went right through his hands. 3rd down and 7. Not a lot of plays through the air downfield this season for UNC.
No, pretty good protection. He's got a lot of time in which to throw this, and he puts a tremendous amount of air under it. Just too much air for a guy like Chris Culliver. And now, with that incompletion, Anish, puts North Carolina in 3rd down and long here, 3rd and 7. You're only going to get a 3-man rush right there from Cal.
They bring 4. Lopez under duress, trying to escape, and pulled down at the 40, and this may be a go-for-it spot for UNC.
It is in uncharted waters right now, and where it's too long for a field goal, and you feel bad if you just punt and give up the football on 4th and about a long 2, maybe 3 yards here. Situation where I'd be begging the head coach if he even thought about punting it and let us stay out.
2 tight ends into the game. Ship their top receiver in motion. Lopez to throw. Finds Cox, 1st down and more, and Uluave finally brings him down at the 30. It's a 1st down for Carolina.
And just got everybody caught inside, and the tight end, Cox, is able to slip out. He gets by Farrelly, the linebacker, who decided to go and just forgot about the tight end. A nice job of blocking and escaping at just the right time to pick up the 1st down. Well executed play by North Carolina.
Gauze is tripped up after a gain of a couple. Polidor, the safety, a transfer out of Montana State. Benjamin Hall back in there.
This is an area where if you're North Carolina, get it to 3rd down and medium. Get to 3rd and short. You cannot have a play that goes for nothing.
Freshman number 84, Shamar Easter, into the game. Lopez finding Hall. He's going to be a little shy. It's going to bring a 3rd and 3.
Uluave, just a tackling machine. He came into this game. In 6 games, he had 52 tackles. A sack, and 6 of those had gone for tackles for a loss. And we see why he gets such high praise from this coaching staff. He just tackles everything in front of him or around him.
UNC 0 for 4 on 3rd down. Now the blitz. Lopez incomplete, broken up by Masses. He's the next great Cal corner.
And transfer out of FIU, and just really good coverage, tight coverage, nowhere to really place the football in that instance for Gio Lopez once he decided to go there.
Reese Verhoff on for a field goal try of 41 yards. He is perfect inside of 50 this season. He gets 3 for North Carolina. Tar Heels cut the Cal lead to 4. Memorial Stadium in Berkeley sits on an actual fault line, and we heard tremors earlier tonight when Louisville sent shockwaves through the ACC, knocking off number 2 Miami, intercepting Carson Beck 4 times. The Louisville defense made big plays, and even with all the turnovers, Miami had a chance at the end. Beck, with his team in field goal range, threw a pick.
A couple of bad decisions, but the last one I don't put on Beck because the ball was tipped. If you get a block or a piece of the edge rusher, then that may have been a completion. They may tie the game up, and who knows what happens. But 4 interceptions on the night, not a good look for the Hurricanes.
So that means that Georgia Tech-Duke game, which was a big game to begin with, even bigger. ACC Huddle is live from Durham, North Carolina. The Yellow Jackets, unbeaten,
fighting Brent Peace. They are playing.
Is favored. Duke had a big win not too long ago against Cal. Tune in on ACCN Saturday at 10 a.m.
Well, you knew his team was going to be tough, physical, and they would run the football, and that's exactly what they've done this season.
JKS, quick throw, and another drop. Boy, Cal has heard that too many times. Mason Minnie.
And he's usually sure-handed. The guy they love down in the red zone. 3 touchdowns this year already. He's become a big-time playmaker for this Cal offense. And I'm surprised it's kind of taken him this long to get him the football.
And Justin Wilcox joked when we said, did you know what you had in him? He goes, oh, yeah. He goes, I can sit here and take the credit. But he said he came in from Idaho. He worked. And he's been a surprise to the entire coaching staff, but he's a big part of the offense. Carolina rushes 3. Jesus fell down again. That's 3 times at least tonight. He's fallen down.
Yeah, he's got that spat job around his cleats. And, you know, I don't know if that is what's the cause, but he's got to make a change at halftime. And then to put a bow on Mason Minnie, he came into college at 205 pounds.
High school quarterback.
And a high school quarterback, and his gain, he's now 240 at 6'4", and has made himself a really attractive football player.
Sangapolutele with a strike. It's the mailman. Jordan King delivers, and it's another big 3rd and long conversion for Cal.
Yeah, he's got good size and speed, and watch this throw. I mean, just threading it into where the defense is not. That ball's thrown before King makes his break.
Big possession late in the first half with Cal getting the ball to begin the 3rd quarter.
They're loading up to bring some pressure. Right on the outside.
RPO. De Jesus finds a little bit of a crease in the tunnel. 2nd down.
Well, you kind of have the nerves where you might get a drop or 2 early in the game, but by now you figure receivers, backs, everybody's kind of settled in. They continue a little bit for Cal.
The fake to LJ Johnson. There's De Jesus again.
He makes it look so easy. For most righties is when you're rolling to your left. That's a tough throw because it's away from your body. For a lefty, it's rolling right. Well, watch JKS make this look easy. Just a nice little jump throw to the outside, on time, accurate for a 1st down. He's got all the tools.
6 catches on 11 targets for De Jesus. LJ Johnson cannot find the edge. It's 2nd down and 10.
When you can do that, and now there's not a tell on you as a quarterback where he throws better going to his left than he does his right, or his right going left. You know, now you open up or you unlock the entire field to a quarterback, and man, does he have. He's got all the gifts you need. 6'3", can spin it and accurate with it.
And he's just young, 19 years old, a true freshman. Penalty marker down.
Before the snap, false start. Offense, number 54. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Second penalty tonight on Frederick Williams, the left tackle. This is what Justin Wilcox spoke to us about. He said, this is not necessarily a big play offense. They get sacks, penalties, get behind the chains. It makes things difficult.
Yeah, tough to overcome it. But as they grow, and they keep that guy number 3 and shore up some things up front in front of him, they could be a special offense in a hurry.
Keep it on the ground. And Johnson gets close to the original line of scrimmage. 3rd and 11. This is now a big spot for this North Carolina defense. We've seen Cal convert far too many of these 3rd and longs for Steve Belichick's liking.
That's one of the things that defensively he said that, you know, they have to get off the field on 3rd downs. They also wanted to keep the quarterback in the pocket, and they've had a rough time of doing that.
It's a 4-man rush. That one incomplete in the direction of Minnie.
I think in there that it was already discussed that if they come up with any kind of progress on 3rd down, they were going to go for it on 4th, which is why he went underneath and didn't try to push the ball down the field. But now a punting situation for Cal. A nice stop for Steve Belichick and his defense.
Hardy, the fair catch. Coming up at halftime, it's Zubin Mehenti, E.J. Manuel in studio. Everything you need to know about Louisville's upset of number 2 Miami, plus the instruction manual. We're all excited for game day tomorrow. James Franklin will be live and on set. Franklin let go this week by Penn State after a 3rd straight loss. He won 2 playoff games last year, Andre. He's had 3 straight double-digit win seasons.
If he wants to coach, I don't think he's going to have the problem finding his next place to do such.
A lot of big-time openings in college football. Devon June wrapped up by Luke Farrelly. We've talked about Uluave. Farrelly's the other half of that tandem. They came in with close to 100 combined tackles.
Yeah, when they lost Ryan McCullough, Farrelly had to step in, and he has done an outstanding job. Good young player that just makes plays.
Second down and 8.
Bash brothers.
We've had a few itinerations of the Bash brothers here at Cal. Obviously McGuire and Canseco way back when. Not much on the ground, maybe a couple. It's 3rd down. North Carolina does not seem to be in any particular hurry. Cal's got all 3 timeouts. We still have the 2-minute timeout.
2-minute timeout. North Carolina has still 2 in their back pocket, so no need to rush. You want to make sure that you're executing well. You pick up this first down of this possession, and then you may start to speed things up. They're going to take it all the way down to the 2-minute timeout.
This game turned early. North Carolina's first possession, first play. They cough it up deep in their own territory. Cal taking advantage, punching it in a few plays later. That turnover, the difference in the game. When we look at our dynamic play of the game presented by T. Rowe Price, it happened on North Carolina's first play from scrimmage. Shenard Clower fumbles. Cal recovers shortly after. JKS, quarterback keeper. 7-0 Cal. Difference in the game.
It really was. That is the difference in the thing that Freddie Kitchens talked to us about last night was protecting the football. First play, they put it on the turf.
On 3rd down, Lopez will try to run for it. Uluave shoulders him out of bounds. Does he get to the line to gain? It's going to be close.
I think he's going to just barely get there. and keep this drive alive.
He does. Remember, Lopez did not play last time out against Clemson due to a leg injury. Got hurt against UCF.
Man, that hurts way up here when Uluwabe hit Lopez. Man, it just, oh.
It stops the clock with 1:52. Play action. Lopez with time and nearly picked off by Masses. He's almost had 2 tonight, and the downfield throws for North Carolina have been hold your breath moments for Chapel Hill.
Well, he leads the nation in passes defended, so you know it's not, that number's not going to go down because he seems to get a hand on just about every ball thrown his way. And you're right, that's the second time, arguably, you could say he should have had an interception.
It makes you wonder if Freddie Kitchens will play it closer to the vest, even with Cal getting the ball to begin the third quarter. A strike to Ship. Clock continues a run. It's third down.
A big, strong, physical wide receiver.
Timeout. Cal.
Really like Ship is on third downs.
Cal uses one of its timeouts.
Save a possession here in the first half. I always say, or I'm under the belief that you can't score enough points in the first half of a football game. So if you get an opportunity to add a possession, you certainly try to take advantage of it. Let's take a look at the quarterback comparison tonight. Both guys with 10 completions, 109 yards, and a bunch of drops. That's what that graphic does not tell you for JKS. A lot of drops in there.
Cal has had 3 of them. I know why you wanted to score before halftime, because you were up by so many points at Houston. You didn't play in the second half.
I wanted to play in the
get your
second
last
half.
licks.
I wanted to play in the second half, trust me. Big time.
Ship goes in motion on third down. Against a 4-man rush, Lopez was hit. It's incomplete. No flags. And Cal will get the ball back.
And that's why
with 2 timeouts.
That was a genius timeout by Justin Wilcox. Not only do you get pressure on the quarterback and stop North Carolina on third down, but you don't have to burn another one with that incompleted pass. So now you've got 2 timeouts and a bunch of time on the clock to try to go down and add some more points here.
McGinnis, what a good punt. Flag down to Jesus. An All-American return man 2 years ago. Out to the 29. Flag back at the 22. This is coming back.
Usually on a hold on the outside on one of the, not on the gunner, but the gunner's probably being held.
During the kick, holding, receiving team, number 6. 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. First down.
Make it a little more difficult to get the points that Justin Wilcox was after, but they've gone 75 already in this game. Now you're going to have to try to go roughly about 91 yards.
And Cal gets the ball to begin the second half. So let's see how they play this. They've got 2 timeouts.
Yeah, you got to get a drive starter here if you're Cal, and then you can go into your hurry-up stuff, but you got to take care of the football.
Keep it on the ground to Raphael, not much.
Make sure that Raphael, you're preaching to him if you're Julian Griffin, the running backs coach, both hands on the ball. Make sure you secure it. And then we get to business.
.50 ball, incomplete, broken up by Allen in the direction of Grizel. It's third down and 9.
And now North Carolina,
I was about to say, you get
now
a
they
stop.
have ideas. And Steve Belichick and his defensive unit to get off the field here and force a punt. Can't give up a first down right now, and if you stop them short, you know that they're going to punt it away. You got 2 timeouts, and maybe you go down and add some more points.
It's a chance to get a short field. Cal 3 of 6 tonight on 3rd and 8 or more. They will throw. Tried to fit that in a tight window. It's broken up, incomplete. 4th down. Greg Smith, the redshirt freshman with the PBU.
Yeah, that's great coverage by Smith. Safety on the back end, closing on Minnie, the tight end, and now you got to rely on your on Cal. Cal's got to rely on their defense to maybe stop UNC from getting points. They're going to have excellent field position here with somewhere roughly around 50 seconds or so.
And 2 timeouts. They didn't have to use a timeout there. Hardy with a fair catch. It's made inside the 45. Cal has been hurt tonight and all season by drops.
Yeah, and it started early. Their go-to receiver and leading receiver, DeJesus, drops. Minnie's dropped a couple, and he drops another one in that last drive. And boy, not only does it upset you as a quarterback because the ball's on the ground, but it's touching your hands. And when you look at that completion percentage at the end of the night, it is not where you want it to be. And it makes such a difference in terms of field position, first downs, all of it.
One of the highest drop rates in the country for Cal. And North Carolina with a chance to get at least 3, maybe even take the lead before halftime. Working with 2 timeouts, middle of the field, Ship. And that is ruled incomplete. Drew Polidor jarred it loose.
They have some guys on this defense that will come up and put the pads on you. And there, running start, excellent tackle by Polidor.
And that's a good call, incomplete. Didn't quite complete that football move.
Well, he's got good length for a safety, 6'2", 195, can cover a lot of ground. And right down in my neck of the woods.
On the quick slant, incomplete for Culliver. And it's quickly 3rd and 10. Lopez 10 of 19.
Nobody wants the points in these. Cal doesn't want them. It looks like North Carolina said, hey, we don't want it, you take them.
And to be fair, Andre, the bar was pretty low in terms of what constituted progress for North Carolina, but defensively, we have seen it outside of that first drive for Cal where they worked with a short field. Carolina's done a pretty good job on defense. Bend but don't break. And offensively, they've tried to take advantage of field position a couple of times. 3-man rush with a spy. Lopez hit by Uluave, and it's incomplete. 4th down. 32 seconds to go.
My goodness.
Uluave has leveled Lopez a couple of times.
Boy, when he decided to put it in drive, he pushed the pedal to the metal, full tilt.
Andre, late hit?
I don't think so. That's a play on all day long. Even as a quarterback, I would say that's a play on. Close, but no cigar.
So the Tar Heels with the short field go 3 and out. And now you got to be careful with DeJesus back deep. And DeJesus the fair catch at the 15.
I think at this point, if you're Cal, you've got to protect yourself and protect the lead. You're getting the football first, so you got to be really smart about what you do here because you don't want to turn it over. And if you're North Carolina, I'm going to get aggressive, play around the line of scrimmage. I'm not going to let a drive starter get going, and that's in the running game or some kind of draw play or maybe a screen. So you're on alert for those things, but I'm going to hug the line of scrimmage because you know that Cal's not going to try to push it down the field. And if you do, you might get a sack with a fumble attached to it.
Cal does come out throwing. It's a check down. Raphael gets out of bounds. 19 seconds. It saves Cal a timeout. They've got 2 left.
That may be the drive starter, but it's just not enough time, I don't think, unless there's a catch and a long run with it. And I'm not sure you can even get the field goal unit on the field in time. Well, you got the timeouts, but I just don't know that they can get there with 19 seconds.
Against a three-man rush, JKS in trouble. Tyler Thompson comes up with the sack.
Now it's definitely let's get to the locker room. If I'm North Carolina, I might spend a timeout here.
UNC does not spend a timeout. And we go to halftime with Cal leading 14-10. The Bears get the ball first in quarter number 3. After this break, it's the halftime report with Zubin and EJ. Well, welcome back to ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by Ram Trucks. From Berkeley, California, it's the ACC on ESPN. Third meeting all time between UNC and Cal first as conference foes. And A. Schroff, Heisman winner Andre Ware. We'll get to Paul Carcaterra in a moment. Close game at the half, which is certainly progress for North Carolina against power conference competition. But this game turned really on one play in the first half.
Yeah, I mean, you got to really take your hat off to what North Carolina's done. Traveling all the way across the country. They are right in this fight, and it should make for a great second half.
Our game track is brought to you by American Express. Tar Heels just 1 of 8 on third down. Cal has had some drop passes, but they have converted a few third and longs.
Yeah, they have, and they went 75 yards converting on third and long a couple of times in order to get in the end zone. For North Carolina, it's just consistency on offense. They've got to move the ball, stay on schedule, so to speak, so they don't wind up in third and long situations where they've come up a little bit short.
Cal will receive to begin the third quarter. North Carolina fumbled on its first play of the game. Cal recovered deep in Carolina territory. Quarterback Jaron Keave Sangapolatele ran it in for a score shortly after. DeJesus from the 3. Bottled up at the 21. Let's check in with Paul.
Well, Nish just caught up with Justin Wilcox, the Cal head coach, and his message was simple: catch the ball. And when he spoke to his troops at halftime, he mentioned it's all about the simple things and getting back to the technique and bringing the ball in. He also thinks there's opportunities in the middle of the field when they're on offense passing, because Carolina showed a lot of too high safety looks. Defensively, he thinks they need to make the most of the opportunities in the trenches and make UNC a little bit one-dimensional and stopping the run.
It's a one high safety look to begin.
Yeah.
And Kendrick Raphael tumbles forward for a short gain.
Oh, what a nice block by Frederick Williams III. And then he's had a couple of false start penalties, but there he's kind of had a pancake block. If Raphael would have broken that thing outside, he might still be running.
Raphael has taken over as the lead back. Minnie, the tight end. Sangapolatele under pressure, checks down to Raphael, keeps his balance, and he's going to be close to a first down. He's got enough for a first down.
A nice job. They want to secure the edge, and they do it with the tight end, Mason Minnie. That allows Raphael to get outside, out-leverage the defense. Right on schedule with the football is Sangapolatele.
Jaron Keave Sangapolatele, JKS, committed to Cal last summer, flipped to Oregon, was with the Ducks briefly. Here's DeJesus. And not much room. He lost a yard. Good defense there by Caleb Cost.
Gavin Gibson as well coming up from his safety spot. Transfer out of ECU and escorting DeJesus out of bounds in an ugly way. Once again, they have Cal behind the sticks.
Slingshot to the tight end, Minnie.
Boy, the arm angles in which JKS can can change and get to is just unbelievable. A rusher right in his face. He's got to throw around the defender who gets free and is right in his face, and he's still able to complete it. That's Andrew Simpson, their linebacker, or the middle linebacker for North Carolina.
Simpson from Norwalk, California. First game this season where he's had family in attendance. Norwalk is a ways away, though, near the Los Angeles area. A slide down. They mark him where he began the slide, and he's a full yard shy of the line to gain. It's 4th down. Offense, at least for the moment, on the field.
It looked a little uglier than it was, and that's because the defender was tracking him and got him around the eggs. It's Smith Vilbert, the defensive end, and as he was getting ready to slide, kind of swiped his legs from under him. This is huge for North Carolina if they can get a stop here.
Is this more than a hard count, or does Cal go for it?
I know that you hard count from the shotgun.
They snap the ball. DeJesus wide open. He's got one man to beat. Stiff arm and driven down by Gavin Gibson. If Gibson doesn't make that tackle, it's a touchdown for DeJesus.
And somehow they get everybody inside. Minnie does a nice job of kind of walling things off inside. That clears it out for DeJesus. Simpson's the guy that Minnie really picked to get him open in the flat.
8 catches on 13 targets for DeJesus. He gets it again. And pummeled to the ground after a gain of about 9.
Well, as much contact as DeJesus gets during a game, you got to wonder what he feels like the next day. You know, ice bath, massage, all of it has got to be in play, because he touches it an awful lot for this Cal offense. And I'll tell you what, when he's right, they're right.
A well-deserved breather. He's tied a career high with 9 catches. This is Karan Adams using the wheels. And a red zone try coming for Cal. 5th catch of the season for the South Dakota transfer. He's built like DeJesus, 5'7", 170.
He's the heir apparent, just a redshirt junior, so you got to figure he's learning on the job from Jacob DeJesus, and they utilize him in that manner. That's usually a play that they draw up for DeJesus. That time it's for Adams.
So a drive that was extended thanks to a gutsy 4th down call in Cal territory, now in the red zone. JKS will empty it out. Carolina was showing blitz, and a timeout by Cal.
Timeout, California.
That looked like he was emptying it out to run a quarterback draw. They had the look they wanted. No one in the middle of the field for North Carolina. Let's take a look at this. Look at that. Nobody in the middle of the field, and you get pass rushers up the field. Boy, that's going to be basically a walk-in touchdown for Cal.
Adams was essentially uncovered.
You had a lot of things out of place there for North Carolina, and it ends up being Cal that takes the timeout. It's one where you go rabbit. That was our built-in audible for a quarterback draw. You get that look, you spread everybody out, you just go rabbit, and then call the snap count. Everybody knows what's coming. They invite the pass rushers up the field, and
so why do you think Cal called the timeout?
I think they thought everything was out of sorts, but they had the right look for what it was they were trying to do.
Raphael sheds the first tackle and got a yard. Caleb Cost another stop.
It could have been a play clock issue as well. Play clock running down, and you don't want to get called for a delay of game.
Opening drive of this 3rd quarter, now north of 5 minutes. DeJesus back in. Part of a trips look with Grizel and King, and now it's a quads look as Raphael, the running back, joins.
Here comes a blitz. It's an all-out blitz.
Here they come. looking for Raphael, incomplete. Gibson, the safety, punched it away.
One of the things that Steve Belichick talked to us about was they have to defend the 50-50 balls, and Cal was so good about doing that this season, coming into this game. And I tell you what, there have been some guys like Gavin Gibson, Marcus Allen. Those guys have been in one-on-one coverage, and it's been thrown up, and they've defended it. And so that part of it, in terms of their keys defensively to this game, they have operated and executed there.
3 of Cal's 4 third-down conversions tonight.
Here it comes again. There's
have been on 3rd and long.
There's the blitz again.
Here they come. Raphael picks it up. 50-50 ball. Incomplete, but a flag. Grizel and Allen tangled up in the end zone.
Pass interference, defense, number 29. The ball will be placed at the 2-yard line, and it's an automatic first down.
You see it, they're bringing one more than Cal can block, so you got to get it up to the matchup that you like. It's a little bit too much hand fighting going on by Marcus Allen, gets flagged for it. That puts Cal in point-blank range.
UNC had done a pretty good job on Grizel, who came into the game as Cal's leader in receiving yards. He does not have a catch today, but that's one of those 50-50 balls.
Yeah, and he usually wins. He usually wins in that area.
3 tight ends into the game. Raphael plunges into the end zone for a Cal touchdown.
What a drive to start the second half. You got the 3 tight ends that you described, with an extra, one being an extra lineman and Nick Morrow, and the other 2, Minnie and Jeffrey Johnson, and they just open up a nice crease for Raphael to get in the end zone.
Couple of big plays on that drive. The pass interference on 3rd and long. The call to go for it on 4th and 1. ESPN College Football Primetime presented by Ram Trucks. Memorial Stadium on the campus of Cal here in Berkeley. Part of a Friday night ACC doubleheader. Louisville stunned Miami on the road earlier tonight. Bill Belichick in North Carolina looking for their first ACC win. They hung around and still hanging around. McGill will run this out of the end zone and dropped shy of the 20. Paul?
You know, UNC had some bright spots running the ball in the first half, and down 11 this juncture in the 3rd quarter, you would assume that they continue the ground game. When I spoke to Bill Belichick at halftime, he told me they have to be able to beat man coverage in the passing game. Cal's shown a lot of man coverage. They haven't been able to capitalize in terms of getting vertical against this defense. Only 78 yards through the air, Andre.
Yeah, and the reason why they're playing a lot of man-to-man is because they are selling out to stop the run. But that's what Benjamin Hall brought to this North Carolina offense.
And Hall, who averaged a robust 7.5 yards per carry in the first half, picks up 7 in North Carolina's first drive of the second half.
Yeah, he went out late in the first half and didn't return, but see there, 8 carries, 59 yards, averaging just about 7.5 yards a carry and a touchdown to go with it. You don't go away from that type of production.
Lopez hands it off. Hall hit in the backfield by Paco Austin, who was at USF last year. 3rd down.
Paco Austin, one of those corners blitzing from the boundary side of the formation, that closest to Cal's sideline. And when you're you're doing that, you're usually in man-to-man coverage. As Clark mentioned, selling out to stop the run. It's going to be a lot of man-to-man opportunities for North Carolina offensively. They've just got to execute in the passing game when they get it.
It's a passing down. Lopez to the air. Paysour, can he get there? Extending. And that second effort, maybe that third effort, gets him the first down.
There, the one time they brought Uluwave, the linebacker, but it's just a four-man rush with zone. And the time that Cal goes zone, Gio Lopez is able to, they're able to protect him, and he gets the ball out on time for a first down to Paysour.
3 of Paysour's 5 catches this season have come tonight. Now it's Hall. He's a bowling ball, and he thunders for a gain of 11 to the 41.
Boy, that's a great job of blocking up front. Chad Lindbergh, Daniel King, and Ja'Kai Moore just wash everything down inside, and that just paved the way for Benjamin Hall, who's had a very productive night to pick up a first down and keep the chains moving. This is a nice drive here by North Carolina in response to that scoring drive of Cal.
68 rushing yards, a new career high for Hall. They feed Hall again. And he whirlpools his way for a gain of 3.
But he has a good sense of this offensive line. And by that, I mean just a little bit of hesitation. And then he explodes. Once guys are set on their blocks, now he engages the line of scrimmage. He's just not running in there to run in. He allows guys to set their blocks, a little kick out block there. And I like this back, Benjamin Hall.
And Andre, he's giving this offense a little bit of an identity, which they have not had.
Allowing the offensive line to fire off.
Lopez in trouble. Out of the ambush, Uluwave has been his bête noir tonight.
He is having a monster game. 6'1", 235, plays sideline to sideline, and he will hit and wreck everything in front of him.
7 tackles for Uluwave. He and Luke Farrelly have combined for 14 entering night. Only Caden Fordham and Sean Brown of NC State.
He is some football player, I'll tell you that.
Had more tackles as a duo in the ACC. 3rd and 7. Empty set, 3-man rush with a spy. Lopez, that throw's going to be short of the marker. It was his running back Hall. 4th down, quick decision by UNC. Will punt and play field position, which worked well in the first half.
Well, you have to in this sense because it's 4th down in all of Northern California for North Carolina. So you got to punt and play defense here, hoping to pin Cal down inside their, around their 10-yard line or so.
Good kick here by McGinnis. It lands inside the 10 and then took a bounce back toward midfield, covered up by Cal. They'll start at their own 11.
It is the 3rd Saturday in October, Alabama and Tennessee.
Big day of the SEC on ESPN. Both head coaches working the iPad feverishly. You get the sense, big drive for both teams. If Cal scores and goes up 3 scores, you get North Carolina out of its run game. They've got to throw. That plays to a weakness, unless North Carolina maybe goes to Max Johnson at quarterback. If UNC can get a quick stop, get the ball back, still time to stay with the run, Andre, which has worked.
Yeah, but they've got to get the stop here. Otherwise, you're right. You know, we may look for Max Johnson to come in the game, an experienced guy that can throw the football and push it down the field.
Long throw to the sideline, not much on the play. It's another catch for De Jesus. 10 catches, 15 targets.
That last drive, though, we started to see the true JKS in 6 of 7 to 58 yards and led the touchdown drive, and trying to do the same thing here.
That one past his tight end, Minnie, the Idaho transfer.
But he's looked so good, and he just seems off tonight. I'm talking about Mason Minnie. He's become a big-time playmaker. You watch the film, you see him emerge, you see what he's capable of. But tonight, he just seems just a tick off for some reason.
1 catch on 6 targets, a couple of drops in there. And now a big 3rd down. UNC looking for that 3 and out. A chance to get the ball with a short field. They bring the blitz. Sangapolatele tries to thread the needle and does. It's Jordan King. How many times on 3rd and long has Cal converted and it's been King on the other end?
And watch the eyes of Sangapolatele, and he squeezes it between 2 defenders who collide with one another. That's an amazing throw, and the timing is just outstanding.
4th 3rd down conversion of 8 or more yards for Cal. Raphael cuts a jagged path into the secondary.
Wow.
Keeps his balance and steamrolls across the 40.
Starting to get a little bit late in this game, and those big bodies weighing on you a little bit, and it's opening up some creases for this Cal running game and Kendrick Raphael.
Raphael comes back to the backfield. Simpson coming on the blitz. The give is to Raphael to midfield for a gain of 4.
Thing about it, you can blitz, but if the run's away from you and you get pinned inside, the blitz is non-existent. And then he's on the 2nd level of your defense with 1 less defender to bring him down. So guys are out of place. It's why it's 2nd and 6, and a nice 4-yard pickup there to keep you on schedule as an offense.
70 yards on 15 carries for Raphael. Play fake. Back shoulder, Grizel dropped it. And the drops continue to plague the Cal pass catchers.
And it's on the Cal sideline, or along that sideline. So they're wanting interference. That's just a flat-out drop by Grizel.
Tron Grizel, their most experienced wideout. 6'4" target.
He struggled a little bit tonight with some drops and 50-50 balls that we've seen him make catches on.
Without a reception tonight, although he did draw a flag on a DPI in the end zone, which led to a Cal score. 3rd down. Rolling to his right. JKS hit from the backside. Ball's out. And it squirts out of bounds. Tyler Thompson punched it out of bounds. 2nd time he's gotten to the QB.
Akai Bayer almost came up.
Rolling on the field is a full forward out of
here.
bounds. The ball returned to the spot of the fumble.
Just did,
it's 4th down.
Didn't account for what was coming from his backside. And once again, the speedy Tyler Thompson. And he's shaken up a little bit. JKS. Reaching inside those shoulder pads around that collarbone.
We'll get an update from Kark. Hunt here from Kern to Hardy.
I have been there, Anish. I know what that feels like. I know when a guy's going in there and when it's uncomfortable.
UNC still hanging around. Game day is live in Athens tomorrow morning. Georgia hosting Ole Miss in a top 10 matchup, and James Franklin, the ousted Penn State coach, will be live talking to the guys on set. He won 2 playoff games and got to the college football playoff semifinal. Came within a whisker of playing for the national championship last year. 3 straight seasons of at least 10 wins. That's a high bar for whoever the next coach
I was about to say, good luck finding that production.
Gio Lopez hit. And that ball is incomplete. Culliver, had he hung on, would have had some room to run. Cal real estate's expensive. He might have picked up a few places. And this is big. Uluwave, the best player on this Cal front 7, is down.
Well, the game he's played and the year he's having, you could ill afford to lose that young man.
A captain, a young man from South Jordan, Utah, and able to pop back up and jogging off the field on his own.
We kind of landed weird. Not sure if the back of Culliver's cleat didn't hit him in the face or under the chin or something. It's good to see him make his way to the sideline on his own.
Andre, when we talked to Bill Belichick and Freddie Kitchens, they told us Gio Lopez would start. There would be a good chance we see Max Johnson. Given where we are in the game, given what the score is, getting surprised.
Yeah,
we haven't seen Max.
I'm kind of surprised we hadn't seen Max Johnson to this point, but the offense is different from one skill set to the other.
Lopez with a strike to Ship. He is North Carolina's top receiver. He's got twice as many receiving yards and almost twice as many receptions as any other player.
He's not a speedster, but he just gets the job done. And when the ball's thrown in his area, seems to always make the tough catches as he did there. Nice protection up front.
The completed catch is under review
by the offensive line, and I don't want to take a look at this baby.
While they review, we will listen in to the ACC's Game Day Operations Center.
Helps him to control the ball on that shot.
Hey, Bill, ruling on the field as a completed catch.
All right, John, the angle that I'm looking at here shows him grasping the ball here, but as he brings it towards his body, it looks like the ground might help him make the catch. Let me try to find another angle. This
Look at the far handheld.
Yeah,
yep.
This shot is going to show that again as he goes to the ground. That left hand is completely off the ball, so there's no way he can be controlling that ball at this point.
You got a new one coming in on Bravo. You got a new one on Bravo that helps as well.
Let me look at Bravo.
Yep. So we're going to overturn the ruling on the field.
I'm in agreement.
Okay. So we're going to bring this back now. We are going to have...
I need to restart my play here.
Yeah, that's fine. I got you, and I'll send it to you. Okay. We're going to have...
North Carolina ball. This is going to be 3rd and 10 at the 16-yard line, and we're going to be position 3, 3rd and 10. You're not going to reset the clock.
Was that the robot from the Jetsons?
I was thinking the Smurfs.
Let's bring in Matt Austin after we get the ruling
After
here.
further review, the receiver lost control of the ball when he hit the ground. Therefore, it is an incomplete pass.
Matt, did you see enough to overturn the call on the field?
Yeah, I sure did. When he went to the ground, the hands were on both sides of the ball. When the ball touched the ground, you could see one hand come off. So that in and of itself was enough for me to say it was an incomplete pass.
And again, we thank the ACC, just the transparency they provide with letting us listen in on the process. 3rd and long. Lopez backpedaling, throws up a floater. Paysour makes the catch inbounds, and he's got a first down for UNC. That was your Leroy Jenkins play.
Absolutely fantastic catch. And how about Gio Lopez hanging in the pocket for as long as he did? And that's a spot. And the weakness of the defense, when you go 2 high safeties, between the corner and the safety to that side, you've got to drive the football in between that area. And that's a heck of a throw by Lopez.
And now they may look at this.
The previous play is under review for a potential target.
I thought Cam Sidney came in a little bit high.
Back we go to the Game Day Operations Center.
Are we in agreement that this player is defenseless?
He is a defenseless receiver. I'm in agreement.
Okay, so we have a defenseless receiver. So now we're going to see number 20 coming. Do we see him leading with the shoulder?
I see the right shoulder going into the chest.
Okay, so hold on. So where he's leading with the shoulder, so we have him leading. Now we need to be able to see if we have contact to the head or neck area. On the view that we're looking at currently, I can't be able to confirm whether or not he is making contact to the head neck area on this view here.
Charlie's new angle, but it's the same one.
Charlie's
okay.
the same one I was looking at.
So
Look at
let's,
Alpha as well. I think it may have been a little different.
Okay.
That's the same one.
So
That's the same shot.
right now, if you look at high left end zone, let us know if we have any other views. Based off of this, I don't see any be able to see forcible contact to the head or neck area.
I don't see any.
No more coming from the truck.
Are we all in agreement?
Yeah, the truck is empty now.
Okay, the ruling on the field is upheld. We have a catch, inbounds, no targeting. Ruling on the field upheld.
Ruling is upheld. Yes, thank you. After review, the ruling is upheld. First down, North Carolina.
And the big thing there is they're looking for the indicators.
Yes.
All aspects of targeting have to be confirmed. They could not. And it ends up being just a first down. So the 20 yards that UNC lost on the ship catch that was overturned, they get it back on the catch by Paysor, who's got 4 catches for 73 yards today. He had 2 catches for 18 yards all season entering play.
It's a good, solid football play all around on both sides of the ball. The hit by Sidney as well as the catch by Paysor.
Off play action. Lopez takes another shot. Carnage on the sidelines. Culliver and Austin got their feet caught. And this may be on UNC.
Pass interference. Offense, number 3. 15-yard penalty. Replay first down.
Shoots and ladders here for the Tar Heels. The defender in that spot has as much of a right to the ball as the receiver.
You see Culliver basically just tackle Austin on that side, or Brent Austin, the corner to that side, just got tackled.
Andre, we have not seen Cal bring a ton of blitzes tonight. Given the situation now,
you might see one dialed up from this 4-2 look that they like to play. That's their base defense, and they play with a nickel all the time.
Lopez is hit. Was the catch made in bounds? It was. That was Shenard Clower.
It just looked like there's a bust on the back end. How does he get that wide open? I think Austin went inside. His eyes took him there with a receiver. Clower went right up the outside along the sideline. And I tell you what, Gio Lopez is growing up a little bit because he's finding guys that in past games he might have missed.
They will take a look at that to see if Clower had full control before he went out of bounds. Clower, remember, on the opening drive, fumbled away a ball early, and that gave Cal a short field and a chance to score, which they did as we listen in to the command center.
Helmet. I'm going to see if I can get a better shot from my near card. Okay.
So right now, do we have this player as defenseless, correct?
He is a defenseless player.
Okay, now we're looking at number 16. Okay, do we have him? Does he make forcible contact to the head and neck area?
He launches, and I'm trying to
determine
determine whether that his face comes in at the top of the chest.
So we have an indicator with the based off of that launch.
I'm trying to see any other shot that I've got coming in. This shot is from behind. What I don't see the head going back quicker than the body's going back.
Okay, so I'm trying to be able, I agree with you. We have an indicator here. We have a defenseless player. What I'm trying to be able to look is to be able to see contact, a forcible contact to the head neck area.
And after looking at this one, he does launch, but I think the attacker's chest comes in, meeting the shoulder of the quarterback, and the helmet may be incidental.
I agree with you. So I do not, based off of the views here, we're not going to be able to confirm the forcible contact to the head neck area. So we're going to uphold that there's no targeting. However, for the catch, no catch, let's go to the coach's end zone, please. If you go to the coach's end zone, I'm going to send you this right here, John. With
we have a catch, correct? As well? Okay, so we're going to look here. You're going to...
So we got some audio issues there, but they were looking at two things. One, catch, no catch on the sideline. Second, targeting, and it sounds like there's not going to be targeting. But now they're looking at catch, no catch.
I didn't think there was any way this was not a catch.
After review, the ruling on the field is upheld. It's a first down, North Carolina.
He actually got both feet down inbounds with control of the football. So we play on.
And Andre, that's now a couple of instances on this drive where Gio Lopez has stood in and made some throws against the blitz.
You know, watching him kind of grow up, and you know, you do something enough and you get enough reps at it, you start to get better. And that's what's happening with Gio Lopez. It's just that a lot of coaches would pull that plug a lot sooner, but he's been allowed to kind of develop.
That's the end of the third
he is starting to do exactly that.
We go to the fourth quarter. North Carolina across midfield, down 11, looking for its first ACC win. Cal looking to get to 5-2. Bill Belichick has been working the iPad all game. And at the start of the broadcast, we addressed some of the noise that's been around the program. It's been a lot of noise through the bye week leading up to this game. Does that volume go up or down? How North Carolina finishes this game, this fourth quarter, is going to determine the volume going forward for Bill Belichick and UNC.
Yeah, they have to remain competitive, and you know it certainly wouldn't hurt to pull out a win here to start the fourth quarter and score on this drive to get back in it.
Lopez, who's played the entire game, that is incomplete in the direction of Ship, covered by Cam Sidney. Second down and 10.
He had some big obstacles to overcome on this drive, but he actually fared well. 20-yard pass as well as a 31-yard pass, both on this drive to push the ball down the field, which we hadn't seen to that point in the game.
The UNC defense has given this team a shot. Offensively, not a whole lot of progress made. The fake to June. Lopez steps up, and he's sacked. Chris Victor, the Chattanooga transfer.
Well, he wanted to go down the sideline to his right, but then the safety came over the top, and we got a flag down. Came over the top that got him off of it, and that's when the pass rush was able to get home.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense, number 16. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Chris Victor.
That's his first foul toward disqualification.
Justin Wilcox spoke to us about these moments. Self-inflicted wounds, unsportsmanlike late hit calls that have turned into drive extenders and game killers for Cal.
You know, I'll get back to this after this snap. You're either going to let them celebrate or you're not.
Emotional game, and sometimes you try to legislate emotion. Hall gets stuffed by Wayne.
We see guys celebrate in the end zone after scoring touchdowns. We see all types of stuff. You know, basically guys playing the game in shorts, you know, with a pad, little bitty pad in where there should be pads and pants cut, and then you call that. I don't get it. Either we're going to follow the rules to a T or let them play and let them have some fun.
Lopez steps up. Not much on the throw. A flag comes in.
They're going to have a
from
hold
the back end
in the secondary, so that's going to give North Carolina another first down.
Before the pass, holding, defense number 5, 10-yard penalty, and an automatic first down.
Zeke Masses, the top corner.
He's working against Culliver, and he gets kind of bumped off by his own safety. It's Cam Sidney, and he has to reach and hold because he knew Culliver was going to come wide open. And that's one of those where I don't know that Justin Wilcox is going to mind that hold on the back end because it may have gone for a touchdown had he not grabbed Chris Culliver.
25 penalty yards on this drive. Goss, huge hole. And tripped up by Sidney at the 7-yard line. First and goal, North Carolina.
Yeah, once again, a nice block up front. A nice seal by Chad Lindbergh, the center, and that opens everything up for Goss. Well, this offensive line it may be the best game that they've played up front in terms of opening up the running game. Goss, Benjamin Hall, those guys having a productive night.
Carolina's been non-competitive in its other 3 games against power conference teams. Making this a 4-quarter game against Cal. On the doorstep. Lopez finds Ship. And he's pulled down from behind by Polidor at the 5-yard line, 2nd and goal.
Trying to take advantage of that big frame of Ship, 6'2", out on the edges. Trying to will himself into the end zone. This is huge. North Carolina can get in the end zone here, make this a 1-score game again.
10th play of the drive. Lopez airmails it, 3rd and goal. Given the fact that a field goal still makes it a 1-possession game, not necessarily 4-down territory, you want to avoid the turnover.
Yeah, he felt the captain in the area, Uluave, and decided, hey, I'm going to throw this away and live to fight on 3rd down.
Uluave has been everywhere tonight.
Yes, he has.
Cox, the motion man. It's a toss to Gauze. In for 6.
Once again, the offensive line and Ja'Kai Moore. Or Ja'Kai Moore with that block to seal things off. And then all of a sudden, Goss is into the end zone untouched. They do a heck of a job of just walling off the edge. Goss is able to out-leverage the defense and into the end zone. We've got one heck of a finish coming up.
Carolina will go for 2 to make it a 3-point game. Plenty of time left. Four receivers to the right, and now Hall, the motion man. Hall's open in the flat. Tumbles into the end zone. The 2-point conversion is good. North Carolina cuts the Cal lead to 3.
Great job in protection. How they lose track of Hall, but there, Goss tying things. They're getting into the end zone, and then Hall outflanking the defense. Here comes Carolina.
Anish Shroff, Andre Ware, Carcaterra. Here at Berkeley Memorial Stadium, got a good one. North Carolina seeking that first ACC win, the first ACC win of the Belichick era. It's the first time this season UNC's been competitive in a power conference game. Their previous three, they were blown out against TCU, UCF, and Clemson, who all up to this point have been middle of the pack teams in their league. Cal qualifies as one of those. And Bill Belichick told the media on Monday, hey, this team is making progress. They're improving. I trust the process. The results will come. A lot of folks interpreted that as, well, we haven't seen anything close to that. He doubled down with that last night when we spoke to him.
Yeah.
There's still clearly progress that needs to be made, but coming off a bye, there's been some progress made tonight. And defensively, they have done a pretty good job giving their offense chances. DeAndre Robinson with the run stuff at second down. Kark?
Good news for Cal. Songapolatelli was shaken up the last time he was out on the field, and I observed him. There was no trainer that was overseeing him, stretching his neck, taking some deep breaths. And when you talk to teammates of Songapolatelli, they say he's tough as nails, he's so mature, and he's ready for the moment.
Now we saw it in the fourth quarter of the BC game. DeJesus unable to hang on.
Another
Andrew
drop.
Simpson got in there. Their team has really done a lot of harm to the other team. It's been a lot of self-inflicted wounds from both sides tonight.
Yeah, I've seen enough drops, and if I'm JKS, I'm in the huddle and I'm saying, hey guys, we got to hold on to the football. This has gotten ridiculous. We've allowed this team to come back, get back in the game because we can't catch the football. You get your hands on it, make a play for them.
6 drops. JKS chased from the backside, flag down. He is going to be tackled shy of the line to gain, about a yard shy, but a penalty marker back near the line of scrimmage.
That's right in that area where holding is called. To your point about North Carolina showing improvement, previous 3 games averaged only 11 points a game.
Offense over 71, 10-yard penalty. Replay third down.
Tonight, they're at 18. Only 57 yards rushing the previous 3 games. Tonight, 114.
Meanwhile, they're looking at JKS. Songapolatelli takes a big hit and clearly shaken up after the play.
I didn't feel like he was right when he came off the field the previous drive. And
so Devin Brown enters the game. The Ohio State transfer, spent the last 3 seasons with the Buckeyes. Played in 9 games last year on the national championship team. It's 3rd and 19. Tough spot, fresh off the bench. Underneath, DeJesus, nowhere to go. 4th down, Greg Smith the stop. And North Carolina's going to get the ball back and should have somewhat decent field position.
Yeah, I mean, their punt returner is lining up right about their own 40-yard line, so any type of return here, and just to tie this baby up, you know, all they need is a field goal here.
Kern boots it away. Hardy's going to come up, slides, and makes the catch near midfield. North Carolina with the ball and a chance to take the lead for the first time tonight.
ESPN College Football Primetime is presented by Ram, official sponsor of the College Football Playoff.
The Cal rugby program has a storied history spanning almost 150 years. The current head coach, Jack Clark, he is a Cal Athletics Hall of Famer, a U.S. Rugby Hall of Famer. All he's done is lead Cal to 30 national titles.
Wow. Amazing.
UNC looking for that first ACC win of the Belichick era. Cal looking to hold this lead. They have led throughout. Swing pass to the outside. And Ferrelli with the big TFL. Shenard Clower with nowhere to go.
Fought through a block to get there and read it. It looked like Jake Johnson, the brother of Max Johnson, the tight end, was trying to block him, and Ferrelli just, beeline and made a nice stop.
And Uluave, the Bash brothers, and the moniker more than fitting. Second and long after a loss. Lopez, quick throw. Paysor makes the first man miss. Stiff arm across midfield. They got a lot of it back and more, and it sets up a 3rd and short. Paysor has earned more snaps with his play tonight.
Yeah, he's done a heck of a job in terms of some tough catches there, and the catch and run after it. And it's really set this team up nicely here on 3rd down and short, where it gives them an opportunity. It's 4-down territory, I think, for North Carolina here if you don't pick it up on 3rd down. Where is Mr. Hall in this short yardage situation?
Cross is the running back. He gets the call. Can he get out of the embrace of Uluave? He's going to be just shy. 4th down, less than a yard. Offense staying out there.
Uluave doing a nice job of just kind of read, react, and he was not going to allow Goss to slip away.
They come under center. Lopez, quarterback sneak, and he appears to have it. Based on the initial spot.
That's where the side judge came in from his side. No doubt that Lopez picked it up.
1st down, North Carolina.
Moving on the field is a 1st down, North Carolina.
QB sneak into a Nimbus crowd. Nimbus cloud. 1st down and 10. Benjamin Hall, 12 carries, 70 yards back in the game.
The previous play that's under review to determine whether the runner made the line to gain.
Normally these line to gain reviews, very tough to overturn, but we listen in to the ACC's Game Day Operations Center.
43, I can't prove that they didn't on that shot.
I can't even.
My near cart.
Yeah, the near cart is your best look, but see if he goes in.
Ruling on the field is a 1st down.
Okay, John, here we got
I can't
number
see
7,
the ball.
the quarterback. He gets the ball. He goes into the pile. It looks like they push him forward to approach the 20 or the 43 line to gain, but I can't see anything as far as a body part down.
So right now we don't see any body part down, and then we do not see the ball when we go into that pile. The near cart will be the best look to see that. Based off of the near cart look, would we all agreement that's not enough to be able to overturn the ruling on the field?
I'm in agreement.
All right, so we're going to be upheld. Ruling on the field is upheld.
Great, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
After review, the ruling on the field is upheld. It's a 1st down, UNC.
We see this often, and even before we had that kind of transparency, those plays where you're trying to judge the spot of the ball, especially when they disappear in the pile.
Good luck finding Gio Lopez in that pile. I couldn't even find him, let alone the ball.
7:44 to go. Carolina in plus territory. Down by 3. Gio Lopez, 16 of 31, 146 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. There's the toss. Hall running backwards. Turned into escape from Alcatraz. And it looked like it was going to be a big loss, and it turns out to be a loss of about 4 on the play. 2nd and 14.
Looked like it may have been Chris Victor Someone comes free right off the edge. And it's B.J. Kennedy that is the defensive end that comes free off the edge.
6 TFLs for this Cal defense. UNC backed up again. Paysor, their top receiver tonight, in motion.
He is uncovered. I'd go right there from Lopez.
Threw it behind Paysor, batted around, and incomplete. Forelli in the middle of it all. It's 3rd and long.
Well, you watch the slot receiver as he comes across, and he's right here, just wide open right from this jump. And that's where your eyes should take you. It's zone coverage, you know it, but you spend so much time and waiting, you could give him the ball right off the line of scrimmage, and it's better than anything you're going to draw up in this instance. Tough play there, you throw it behind him, it makes it an impossible catch.
You pick up 7 or 8, you may think about going for it on 4th down. Lopez steps up, flag down, pass is incomplete for Paysor. The flag in the secondary, masses in coverage.
Boy, jump pass that far down the field. That's some guts right there.
How many times
For the
tonight?
pass, holding, defense number 20, 10-yard penalty, and an automatic 1st down.
How many times tonight have penalties by Cal bailed out UNC?
This is their nickel back. Sydney, 9th Cal pin penalty. And they are bailing them out big time.
That was on a 3rd and long. And now it's a 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line of Cal. 6:43 to go in regulation.
Not only are they moving the football, but they're bleeding this clock along the way.
Dawes picks up about 5, 2nd down.
So you start to wonder with the injury to JKS, along with having limited time to put together a drive, let's just say Carolina puts this ball in the end zone. That's a huge obstacle to overcome for Cal.
Especially, like you said, if they don't have their starting quarterback. Keep it on the ground. It's going to set up a 3rd down and 3.
Little flop there by Uluave. Kind of hand fighting with Kai Moore. I don't think Uluave goes down that easily. He's looking for a flag.
So was this crowd.
Big 3rd down here.
Lopez standing in. It's Paysor. 1st down, North Carolina. A pickup of 15.
Well, they were talking about a go-to receiver that they didn't have, a guy that can make plays to stretch the field. Well, I think they found one going forward in Kobe Paysor. Hey, this guy's made some tough catches. Big there on 3rd down for Carolina. And I tell you what, that clock now becoming a factor for Cal.
Paysor only had 2 catches for 18 yards all season entering tonight. Cox, the tight end, in motion. Here's Hall. He's got 1 touchdown already. Ankle tackled by Uluave after a pickup of 2. A field goal ties it. North Carolina comfortably in field goal range.
How big was that 2-point play for Carolina to put them in this position where a field goal essentially will tie the game? A touchdown puts it, or stretches the lead to a point where just a field goal won't do it for Cal.
Lopez over the middle. Ball comes out at the very end, loose in the end zone. Cal football, it is ruled a touchback. Nathan Leacock fumbled it in the end zone. Now we will take another look. Gio Lopez can't believe it.
Rolling on the field is a completed catch and a fumble at the 2-yard line into the end zone.
And that ball is out before he crosses the goal line. Paco Austin punches it out before Leacock crosses the goal line. If he holds on and the nose of the football clips the goal line, dead ball touchdown. Paco Austin potentially a game-saving play for Cal defensively.
Game of inches, that's what they call it. And unfortunately for Leacock, that ball is out well shy of the goal line. Well, just a crossing route by Leacock, and Austin with a play of the night.
UNC came within a whisker of taking the lead.
Yes, you're going to get a bunch formation here, and Leacock comes in motion. They've got the perfect play called for the defense they're in. The weakness of the defense, the middle of the field. They put Leacock there. Amazing throw, just have to finish. Austin not only knocks the ball out, but has the presence in mind to get up, go recover it for the touchback for Cal. That was a huge play, and as I said before the break, the play of the game.
JKS in there at quarterback. Raphael gets the call on first down, tackled by Bayer. UNC's got all 3 timeouts. Kark?
JKS was in the tent after that last possession. It looked like he was shaking up something with his upper body, but when he came out of the tent, I didn't see him warming up, throwing any balls. But also bad news for North Carolina. Kamori House, who's their leading tackler heading into tonight, he's ruled out for the rest of the game with an illness.
He is their green dot, their communicator, sophomore from Pasadena.
And a guy that came to North Carolina with defensive coordinator Steve Belichick from Washington.
Leading the clock. JKS to throw, quick slant. Another catch by DeJesus, his 12th of the game.
Boy, how many coaches across the country in this situation would have the confidence to allow a freshman on second down to throw a pass, any pass for that matter, but one that essentially a slant that brings you back across the middle, and he is on the money, the timing of it, and the accuracy in which he puts it on him, amazing.
In the win against BC, he made some big plays down the stretch. And now Cal will run off more clock. Raphael hit in the backfield. He lost a couple. And UNC stops the clock with one of its 3 timeouts. Second and 12.
North Carolina, their first of the half. It'll be 30 seconds.
Still have the 2-minute timeout.
And this is where, you know, you feel like advantage defense when it's second down and you're behind the sticks. Great place to take the timeout. You have to take it. Then you're going to get one with a 2-minute timeout. So that's a freebie. This thing is long.
How aggressive are you if you're Brian Harsin and Cal?
Well, I'm going to be smart, especially where they are on the field, but I also trust the guy wearing jersey number 3, and that was evident on second down. So I don't think they're going to totally fold up the tent, but they're going to be careful. That's why that pass was to DeJesus, a guy they believe in that will make the play and secure the football.
Cal has not trailed tonight. UNC fumbled it deep in their own territory on their first play from scrimmage. It led to a Cal touchdown. And then North Carolina fumbled at the goal line moments ago while trying to go in for a score. They throw. JKS looking for DeJesus. He's going to be close to a first down, a yard shy. It's 3rd and 1.
Introduce yourself to the country, young man.
Cal
My
takes
goodness,
it down
is he talented.
to the 2-minute timeout. They trust the freshman.
Yes,
Andre.
they do. Amazing stuff. The freshman stepping up in crunch time for Cal.
Sunday NFL Countdown comes your way at 10 a.m. Eastern. They'll be live from Dallas. Jaden and Dak, big NFC East showdown. Doubleheader on Monday night. Bucks, Lions, two of the top teams in the NFC, and then it's Texans and Seahawks. Moments ago, Jaron Keawe, Sangapolatele, true freshman. Look at the command and the fiery temperament in the huddle.
I like it. Just taking control of your team and trying to will them to a win. Love it. Freshman, senior, whatever. From that position, you gotta love it and admire it.
On 3rd and short, Raphael, bully ball, straight ahead for a first down.
And it's huge because it forces North Carolina to negotiate when they're gonna take another timeout.
30 seconds.
And Carolina uses timeout number 2.
Yeah, the big 3 tight end look. Both Minnie, Johnson, and Morris, all 3 big tight ends in the game in that short yardage situation. All Sangapolatele has done is complete 11 of his last 15. 21 of 39 for the night, 209. Not eye-popping stats, but I tell you what, from the leadership standpoint, oh my goodness. They've got the guy.
Told us that it's the intangibles beyond the physical assets. He said the way he can check plays and the line, his cadence and his command of a huddle.
Challenging his offensive line to go win the thing. It's 3rd and short. Let's go get it. You know, you guys protect me, I'm going to deliver. And that's exactly what you want from that position.
He's only a true freshman. Raphael stood up shy of midfield. North Carolina uses its final timeout. 1:45 to go.
Timeout North Carolina.
Sports Center
Final timeout of the half.
is next with Ryan Smith and Trevor Scales. They will recap not just the massive upset with Louisville beating Miami, but Shohei Ohtani.
Unbelievable.
6 in the 3rd innings. He strikes out 10, hits 3 home runs, including one that went almost 470 feet.
Unreal.
We got a star in L.A. There is a budding star here in Berkeley. You lose a guy like Fernando Mendoza, who had a strong season for Cal last year, goes to Indiana. Andre, he's in the Heisman conversation. He's in the #1 pick conversation. Indiana's in the national championship conversation. And then Cal goes and gets Jaron Keawe Sangapolatele, who had committed to Cal, flipped to Oregon, was at Oregon for a couple of weeks, came back to Cal.
Felt more connected to the coaches at Cal.
Raphael meets resistance quickly by Bayer. He gets to midfield. It's 3rd down. UNC
Carolina
out of timeouts.
Cannot stop the clock from this point going forward. So if I'm Sangapolatele, I'm going to eat up every bit of that play clock until it's down. You're going to snap it just inside of 5 seconds.
Now, we've seen them throw it a couple of times on this drive. They have trust in their freshman quarterback in this spot. Ball at midfield. Do you run the ball? Even if you don't get it, then you punt, or a first down wins the game. Do you let Sangapolatele throw the ball?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Justin Wilcox doesn't take a timeout here. Let it run all the way down. That's exactly what he's doing here. You take the timeout to bleed every second that you can. Get with Brian Harsin and JKS. Come up with the best play that you like in this 3rd down situation.
We take a look at tonight's dependable player, brought to you by Mavis Tire, JKS.
Yep, a touchdown running. And then he's out on the edge finding DeJesus. He gets himself into the end zone. And then here, telling him, kind of willing his offensive line to come through to pick up the first down to force the final timeout by North Carolina. He did exactly that. It's gone exactly how he wanted it to go to this point. Let's see what he does here on third down.
And the story for North Carolina, 2 costly fumbles.
And I'd have no problem the way he's played, putting the ball in the air here. He's safe and smart with it, but I'd have no problem with him throwing it.
They hand it off. It's Raphael. He's not going to get there. It's 4th down, 3 to go. And they can let this clock run down to about 12 seconds. It's going to be 4th down and 3.
Let it run all the way down, then take your final timeout so you get every second off of it. At that point, you punt and play defense.
Now, we've seen crazy things happen. So North Carolina will have to lean on its special teams. And Andre, got to imagine you're coming after Michael Kern, the punter.
Oh, there's no doubt. You have to if you're North Carolina.
So what are you telling those guys on special teams knowing that they're in punt block?
Well, you got to secure things, and if you're the punter, Kern, you're just telling him, get it out. It's not time for a regular steps that you use to punt the football away. You got to get it out, catch and punt.
3-point game. It's a long way back, but do you consider running back toward the end zone for a safety?
That's a smart. I didn't think of that, but yeah, that's in play as well. But you look at all the freshman quarterbacks across the country and the success that those teams are having. BYU, an outstanding year. Bryce Underwood, as well as Malik Washington at Maryland. Pretty talented guys, but man, it's hard for me to get past this kid tonight. JKS he's something else.
So instead of Michael Kern, who is the regular punter, Brooke Honore comes out 40 in gold. Let's see what Cal does here. 4th and 3. They will kick it away. Will Hardy from inside his own 15. And he goes down shy of the 20. And UNC has one play with 5 seconds to go. Now, guess who made the special teams tackle? Mr. Farrelly.
He's had some night in his own right. And I think both the Bash brothers ought to feel good about the production this evening.
Lopez has played the entire game at quarterback for UNC. 7 defensive backs within 5 yards of midfield for Cal. Chip throws it back. This is Culliver. Pitches it back to the quarterback, Lopez. Now it's Chip. There's nobody behind him. It comes to Gauze. Slapped to the ground, recovered by Polidor, and Cal holds on for a 21-18 win. The Golden Bears now 2-1 in conference play, 5-2 on the season, and 1 win closer to bowl eligibility. North Carolina hung in there for 4 quarters.
It did.
Almost pulled it off, but turned it over late. UNC has a date with Virginia coming up next. Still looking for that first ACC win. For Andre Ware and Paul Carcaterra, I'm Anish Shroff. So long from Berkeley. Time for Sports Center with Ryan and Trevor.